The rain fell in steady streams, drenching the small park where a gray and white tabby cat named Muffin huddled under a broken wooden bench. Her fur was soaked, her tiny body shivering as she watched other cats playing together in the distance. They were happy, chasing leaves blown by the wind, but Muffin stayed where she was. She had no friends, and the weight of loneliness hung heavy in her big green eyes. Muffin had always been alone. She didn't know what it felt like to belong, to be part of a family. Hunger gnawed at her, and she ventured out from her hiding spot, hoping to find scraps of food. She padded quietly through the city streets, weaving between the legs of busy people. Her soft meows were drowned by the noise of cars and conversations. No one stopped for her. Near a bakery, Muffin caught the scent of something warm and delicious. She pressed her nose to the glass, staring longingly at a tray of fresh bread inside. Her stomach growled, but the glass barrier kept her dream just out of reach. A sudden shadow startled Muffin, but when she looked up, she saw a little girl with pigtails standing in front of her. The girl crouched down, her small hand holding a piece of bread. "Here, kitty," she said with a gentle smile. Muffin hesitated, her instincts warning her to run, but the hunger was too strong. She crept closer and took the bread, purring softly as she ate. The girl giggled and reached out to pet Muffin, but her parents called her away. "Goodbye, kitty," she said, waving as she walked off. Muffin watched her leave, feeling a strange warmth in her chest. Someone had noticed her. Night fell, and the streets grew quiet. Muffin wandered aimlessly, searching for a safe place to rest. Suddenly, she heard the growls of street dogs. Her heart leapt with fear as she turned to see a pack of them running toward her. Muffin darted into the shadows, her paws pounding the pavement as she dodged their snapping jaws. She found a cardboard box near a dumpster and squeezed inside, trembling as the dogs barked and sniffed around her hiding spot. After what felt like forever, they lost interest and left. Muffin stayed in the box, too scared to move. She curled up tightly, wishing for warmth, for safety, for anything better than this. The next morning, an elderly man named Mr. Thompson was taking out the trash when he spotted Muffin in her makeshift shelter. His kind eyes softened as he knelt down. "Well, hello there," he said gently. Muffin stared at him, her tail twitching nervously. Mr. Thompson reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a piece of bread. He placed it on the ground and stepped back. Muffin sniffed the air and after a moment, crept forward to eat. The man smiled. "Come with me, little one," he said. Too tired to resist, Muffin let him pick her up. His arms were warm and his voice was soothing. He carried her to his small apartment, where she was greeted by the smell of tea and the sight of cozy blankets. At first, Muffin stayed wary, hiding under the couch, but Mr. Thompson was patient. He set out food and water for her, spoke to her softly, and gave her space to feel safe. Over the days and weeks, Muffin began to trust him. She discovered that his hands, though wrinkled, were gentle, brushing her fur and scratching behind her ears. Mr. Thompson built Muffin a little bed by the window, where she spent hours watching the world go by. Birds flitted past, children played in the park, and the sun warmed her fur. For the first time in her life, Muffin felt at peace. One sunny morning, Muffin jumped onto Mr. Thompson's lap as he read a book. She curled up, purring loudly, her eyes half closed in contentment. Mr. Thompson chuckled and stroked her head. "You're home now?" "Muffin," he said softly. Muffin didn't understand his words, but she felt their meaning. She wasn't lonely anymore. She had found her forever friend.
The end.